I'm gonna go with the Caro. I think we've played several times, myself in Windmill, where I played the Sicilian, so let's go with this instead. And I'm really already feeling comfortable right now. Feeling comfortable because I don't know that this knight really is well placed. This pawn can't move. If he's not able to move, I don't have to worry about the queen b3 or queen a5, a4 type of stuff, putting pressure on this pawn. That could sometimes be a knee-jerk reaction when your opponent develops their queen bishop for you to bring out your queen and then attack that weak pawn on b7, which would then be unprotected. Let's go rook here. It's not an inconvenience. There was just the potential for knight c7 there, but rook c8, that's something I would have done anyhow. That's why I used the word convenient there. Rook c8, it's half open file, and I just happen to be defending the threat. So he eventually gets kicked away with a6. If he turns out to bother me, and to be honest, he's just not bothering me. But should I still kick him away? I'd like to trade light square bishops and get my knight right here. I think it'd be very uncomfortable to get a knight on c4 and be putting pressure on the queenside pawns. My other candidate moves are bishop e7. I have a6, bishop e7, and knight here. Maybe this move, preparing a6, and then when the knight goes back, I could mess up the structure there. I'm going to opt for just more development, though. Maybe that's good. Maybe this move was good, too. I like the knight move, but anyhow. Maybe I should kick the way... No. Not going to kick the knight away. I did think about it for a second there, just so white doesn't get in, let's say, c4, but I think that fails tactically. I could take and then take on this square because my rook would be hitting that bishop. Unprotected piece would come about on c4. How about a6 with b5 to follow? Or just knight here right now? Knight here still. These are still candidate moves. Knight e4, a6 with b5 to follow, or knight a5. No, that drops the pawn, so not this. This before knight here, if anything. But a6, b5 might be an idea. Knight e4. I think bishop here could be annoying. Let me go with this. Get that knight out of there. He has one move. And before I do a move like knight here, I'm going to do b5, just so I don't have to deal with a knight getting to a4 and then c4 one day. Whoa, what's going on here? 2 pawns for the minor piece? Is this enough? Queen here right away. Pressure on the bishop and pawn, 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 king indirectly, very indirectly, but this is the main thing. Development. Pressure on the bishop. And just queen recapture or rook, or take this knight first before it pivots on this square. I think I like doing this just so I don't have to deal with a g4 move and then the knight getting to this square. If the queen recaptures, yeah, this is working out because now there's two pawns that are hit and both can't be defended. So this is soon to turn into just me being up a minor piece for a pawn. I don't know that that was a good choice. I'm also on this guy as well, but if I could get the b pawn, a good label, something that I've referenced earlier or in previous streams, the term heart. This pawn right here of this structure, this is the heart of the structure. Get rid of him, and then these guys become very, very weak. I could take that right away, but I'm not going to. There's no need to. It's hit once, defended 0, but now it's hit twice, defended 0. It's not going anywhere. There's no rush with taking it. When I take that pawn, I want to be in a spot maybe where I'm just doing what? Where I'm controlling the c-file. So I'm not going to take just yet. I want to maybe take this pawn with tempo. So if the queen plays here, then I could take the pawn and hit the queen. I do this, pawn push, I could take. That's of some concern to me, actually. Yeah, there's probably something better here. Yeah. Okay, let's go with this and throw my knight in there. Knight to e4. Knight e4. I need a flight square too. I'm not liking my technique here. I maybe should have just stopped getting fancy here with these in-between moves. I mean, I should have just taken right away. Maybe it's better to have that queen right here, because I could have been taking this as a follow-up. Now I can't. If I take here, I work myself into a pin with bishop back. There's even pawn push, which is a little bit annoying. Let's go with this. I'm on this pawn. Pawn here, I go queen here. I could hang out on that square for a little bit. Let's do that right now. And I don't know if I want to take this. There might even be some line where the queen takes the rook. Whoa. That might not be too far away either. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. Let's do this. Let's get out of that nonsense. Pawn push rook here. And then go after this guy. He is the #1 guy. I also have a threat of knight here. Queen trade? Rook here, queen takes queen. Let's not do that. Man, there had to have been something better. I'm going to take. And then do this. This is very scary. The pawn is pinned. I'll do this move to hit the bishop and create a flight square. I don't want to do something calm. Let me do this right now. Pass pawn. This is very scary, actually. I think I just want to take this pawn next, just so these guys don't get past. Yeah, I'm gonna take this right now. It's just too scary. This was really bad technique. Oh, was this bad technique? Bad. Watch out for the sneakiness. Mate was being threatened right there. Now actually the tables are turned because I could hang on to this pawn. So I think just taking that right away would have been better. Now this pawn runs for, I believe, touchdown. Touchdown coming up. Knight d2 with check, and then here. The rook needs to go with check. Just play here. And king position. Okay, knight. Where do you want to live? Where do you want to live, knight? Go quick. Go quick. Grab a bishop. Cut the king off. Get this pawn. No stalemates. Don't allow a stalemate, whatever you do. This is the pawn that runs. No stalemates. Don't allow it. That's not stalemate. Okay. Oh, man. I had a fantastic advantage, and you just saw it evaporate because of poor technique. Has that ever happened to you? At the end of the day, so I won the game, but things aren't going to always end so pretty like that. Where, you know, like I definitely messed up that technique really, really bad right there. So I'll have something to suggest for myself for sure. Okay, let's flip this and look from White's perspective. I'm not really a fan of the exchange Caro-Kann with the knight being on c3, so let that be the first thing I point out. I think it's better in this position to play either d4, still a step in the direction of the main line Caro-Kann, or knight to f3. Not really so sure of pawn takes. Okay, so, and I think because of this decision to be taking like this right here in response to d5 instead of going knight here or d4, I think it's difficult to come up with a constructive plan. So that's my first point. And now I guess, well, it's White felt compelled to go in for some imbalance right here, but my next suggestion is going to be for myself, namely right here. I think it was okay that I did the in-between move to take out the knight. But right here, right now, I should just quit getting fancy and just grab the silly pawn. I'm actually, when I throw in this in-between move of rook c3, I kick this queen away to a defensive square for this pawn. I should take c2 right away. Take on c2 right now, silly, and then grab this pawn next. So I think that would be an improvement for me. I do have to be a bit cautious. These pawns get pretty annoying. Even right now, take on c2. I should have been going with that. Anyhow. And if I did this, maybe I could get away with it. It's certainly pretty uncomfortable, though, because of a pawn push, and he's not too far away. I do not yet have a flight square. That's another thing that I have to be concerned with. And also the pressure on this rook, I can't really rely. Eventually, this pawn, once placed on a7, makes this rook overloaded. It's having to watch over both the a8 square and the c2 square, and that's not a good position to really ever be in. So that's a problem. I end up just taking this pawn right here, and then just to before it comes to a connected pass pawn, that's going to be brutal. That's why I felt the need to do that. And last point, just go right in for grabbing this pawn. I have a good counterattack. I don't have to be strictly defensive. I could play f6, stop the mate threat, and then I could get behind the pawn. So right here, I don't know who stands better. Maybe I still do, just ever so slightly because of the pawn structure, and if I could get my knight here, it's probably good, but certainly a lot more difficult to win that one if I don't have this c pawn around.